Channel, welcome to today's show. This is an important video about the demonic hierarchy being manifested in the year 2025 and how this has been planned for a long period of time by witches and Satanists in the United Nations, in corporations like the Lucius Trust, and how we can expect big things to start occurring in the year 2025. In fact, as we all saw, many false flags and psychological operations are already underway. And Alice Bailey was the founder of the Lucius Trust and is the one who wrote the Externalization of the Hierarchy, which was written in the year 1957, which specifically talked about the year 2025 being the years where major changes will take place in the New World Order hierarchy. So, again, Alice Bailey was a very influential occultist, much like Aleister Crowley. In fact, both of them were members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Alice Bailey wrote The Initiation, Human and Solar, a book that is associated with the Golden Dawn. And Alice Bailey, who is the founder of Lucius Trust, was once called, the Lucius Trust was once called Lucifer's Publishing Company. And they have a direct correlation to the United Nations. In fact, the United Nations worked directly with the Lucius Trust and continues to work directly with the Lucius Trust. And this is what was written in Alice Bailey's book, The Externalization of the Hierarchy. It is important to listen to this because this is what the plan has been, and we can see how they've been putting the pieces in place for a major deception to occur. Obviously, I'm referencing Donald Trump being put into power for the year 2025 and him playing into the Christian conservative audience. We are going to see major events and major sabotage occurring starting in the year 2025. So Alice Bailey wrote this: "Thus a great and new movement is proceeding and tremendously increased interplay and interaction is taking place. This will go on until AD 2025. During the years intervening between now, 1957, and then, very great changes will be seen taking place. And at the great assembly of the hierarchy held as usually every century, in 2025, the date in all probability will be set for the first stage of the externalization of the hierarchy. The present cycle from now until that date is called technically the stage of the forerunner. It is preparatory in nature, testing in its methods, and intended to be revelatory in its techniques and results. You can see, therefore, that Chohan's masters, initiates, world disciples, and aspirants affiliated with the hierarchy are all at this time passing through a cycle of great activity." And again, Alice Bailey and the United Nations are tied at the hip. You might remember recently the United Nations had that beast sitting outside of their headquarters. The beast referenced in Revelation chapter 13, verse 2. "And the beast that I saw was like a leopard. Its feet were like a bear's, and its mouth was like a lion's mouth. And to it, the dragon gave his power and his throne and great authority." They put that right outside of the United Nations headquarters in New York City. And they called this thing the Guardian for International Peace and Security. And remember, when they say peace, destruction will cometh. Here is a clip for people out there that if you haven't seen this in regards to the Lucius Trust and the connection to the United Nations and David Rockefeller, I highly recommend you pay attention to this, including the deliberate numerology of 33 and 666, as well as that altar that is in this room inside the United Nations headquarters, because that is an altar that is used for sacrifice. Take a look at what's going on where your world leaders assemble and, of course, conspire with one another ultimately for humanity's demise.
United Nations headquarters, which was built in 1945 and financed largely by John D. Rockefeller. Inside UN headquarters is an ominous meditation room. The custodian of the meditation room is Lucis Trust Company. At one time, the Lucis Trust was located at 666 United Nations Plaza and was formally named Lucifer Publishing Company. The Rockefeller-funded UN meditation room is 33 feet long and 18 feet wide. 18 feet is 6 plus 6 plus 6. The small, dimly lit, windowless room was built in the shape of a pyramid that is laying on its side. At the center of the room is a 4-foot-high, black, casket-shaped stone slab, which weighs 6.5 tons and is extremely magnetic and rests on a concrete pillar. The pillar descends beneath the floor into the bedrock and taps into the Earth's hyperdimensional energies to induce a state of altered consciousness. Not far from the meditation room is the United Nations Security Council chamber. This is the emergency room of the UN, where the world leaders meet when there is a threat to peace. They decide the fate of nations. Notice the giant mural that towers over the Security Council room. The central focus of the UN mural is the phoenix bird that has risen. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. Egyptians believed that the phoenix symbolized a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer after his fire immolation of death and rebirth. Notice that the phoenix bird is not standing above his own ashes. He is standing above his old skin. Like a snake, he has shed his old skin and is revealing himself as God at the center of the mural. At the top left, there is a church steeple without a cross. The missing cross symbolizes the death of Christianity. Below, a woman receives the rays of the sun god, while the man in front of her plays Pan's flute. To their right are two pyramid symbols and people joined together by a long blue serpent-like cloth. Below the risen phoenix, a sword is driven through a dragon beast. This represents the killing of old beliefs and religions that depicted Lucifer as a beast. The New World religion worships him as beautiful. Behind the phoenix, the ghostly figures of the walking dead are stepping into a void. They symbolize depopulation. On the right panel, the pale horse from the book of Revelation is the bringer of death to humanity through weapons, hunger, and disease. The man is releasing him. The chained black man represents slavery, while the top panel of the mural shows a technologically advanced white race who control industry, art, and science. In this post-apocalyptic mural, the military man standing on the tail of the beast represents worldwide military power. He tips his helmet to the elite, who are climbing out from underground cities where they safely hid from the apocalypse. In the main oval panel above the phoenix bird, a woman is holding flowers. She is the bride in a wedding ceremony. The serpent in human form is tempting the little girl Eve, who accepts the apple. On the right side of the top panel, a reptilian green creature with scaly skin is dancing with a naked woman while musicians entertain him. The general message of the UN's Phoenix Rising mural is that humanity is stepping into a new Luciferic reality. Beneath this disturbingly prophetic mural, world leaders make global decisions that affect the lives of nearly 7 billion people.